Hello everyone and welcome back to APWC. As you all know, Letterboxd has the 4 favorite movies listing. So I decided to make a video on my 4 favorite films that in some way have shaped me and changed the way I am today. We will start in descending order. So without wasting any time, let's begin.
Ready.
On number 4, we have Interstellar. Christopher Nolan is the GOAT, no doubt. But what he created with Interstellar is pretty inexplicable and can only be felt. The only problem is even Chris Nolan isn't aware of what he created.
Is Interstellar your favorite movie in your filmography?
Pass.
Although he did win an Oscar for Oppenheimer and I believe it was well deserved, but somewhere deep in my heart, Interstellar will always be above Oppenheimer in Chris Nolan's filmography, which I personally adore to the moon. It's one of those films that engulfed me and stayed with me once it was over. And not a lot of films have been capable of doing that. This might be a controversial statement, but Interstellar is everything that 2001 A Space Odyssey tried to be. Now, to be honest, I'm a big fan of Stanley Kubrick. He was way ahead of his time. And what he achieved in 1968 with 2001 A Space Odyssey is pretty unfathomable. Also, it is common knowledge that Christopher Nolan has openly agreed to have taken inspiration from Kubrick and spoken about the influence it had on his career.
2001 has had a massive influence on the way in which we've imagined the future to be.
In fact, a 4K remastered version of 2001 Space Odyssey was done under Nolan's supervision, which was re-released in 2018 in 70mm equipped theaters and also a limited 70mm IMAX release as well. It's almost like 2001 A Space Odyssey walked so that Interstellar could run. Hans Zimmer's cornfield chase and Day One needs a special mention. It's the most beautiful background score I have heard in a film. The dialogues of this film need a separate video and I will surely make one for its 10-year anniversary. Wow, it's close to 10 years, almost a decade, since Interstellar released, and I still regret not watching it in theaters. I wish to watch Interstellar in 70mm IMAX screen someday. Anyways, next on number 3, we have The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Although released in 2013, this movie had more impact on me than any other film could, but not in its first watch, which is kind of funny, right? In fact, I felt the movie was utter trash when I watched it the first time. But after multiple rewatches, I kinda understood the character arc that Ben Stiller's character, Walter Mitty, had. In no way was I able to relate to the character though, but somewhere deep down, the movie deals with one of the most simplest ideologies, and that is, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. A similar theme is seen in The Alchemist as well. The movie may seem pretty simple and boring to some people, but through my lens, it's one of the most underrated, misunderstood films of our generation. I am not an introvert by any means, but this is a guide to people who are introverts or have social anxiety, which is quite common these days. Also for those who are daydreamers or maladaptive daydreamers to be precise. This movie is the second adaptation of James Thurber's 1939 short story of the same name. In a simple line, the movie deals with a guy, Walter Mitty, who lives a mundane, boring life as a negative assets manager, but ends up going on an adventure to get one lost negative for his magazine's last edition. Spoiler alert, the end is hysterical when Walter Mitty goes through this unrealistic adventure and realizes that the negative was with him all the time. Now you might ask, what was the meaning of this? So let me explain. Sometimes taking the long route might lead to something beautiful. It's how Nawazuddin Siddiqui said in Lunchbox.
और मेरी अम्मी हमेशा कहा करती हमेशा कहती कि कभी कभी गलत ट्रेन भी सही जगह पहुंचा देती है।
तुम्हारी अम्मी कहती?
हाँ।
And that's obviously true. Sometimes the wrong train takes you to the right station. Stay Alive, performed by Jose Gonzalez, sums the film in one song, so do check it out on YouTube. And before we move on to the next one, I want you guys to remember something. To see the world, things dangerous to come to see behind the walls, to draw closer, to find each other and to feel. That is the purpose of life. Next, on number 2, we have Charlie. There are movies that you seek, and then there are movies that seek you. There are movies that you are excited to watch, and then there are movies that find you at a time in your life when you least expect them to. I was going through a tough time in the midst of 2017, and Charlie came in unannounced. Obviously, it didn't make the situation easy, but it somehow made me liberated, carefree, or even unfettered, for a lack of better word. Since then, I have always dreamt of becoming like Charlie, a distant dream that I know I can never bring to fruition. Charlie's personality, his characteristic traits, and charisma is on point, but it isn't to swoon or impress anyone. That's how Charlie is. I won't spoil it for you, but please do watch it in Malayalam, with subtitles, of course. There are 2 remakes of this film, Deva in Marathi and Mara in Tamil, and I'm extremely sorry if you guys ended up watching them prior to Charlie. You guys have genuinely missed on an OG that deserves more respect and appreciation than it has received. Mara had some good songs and the cinematography was brilliant. Also, they had changed the ending a little bit. Still, by all means, Charlie is the best. Charlie tolpikam aarkum kariyilla. And finally, on number 1, we have Hridayam. This movie was the most relatable movie I have seen in years, and it's not because of the life our main character Arun Neelakandan leads, but the fact that almost every man has the same life trajectory, more or less. In fact, there are no similarities between me and the character, but somehow you look at it and realize that this is life, and you have lived a part of it, even if it's just 1%. The movie takes you through the journey of a man from 18 to close to 30 years of age. I recently posted a shot on the 2-year celebration of Hridayam, so do check it out. Also, I have written a big ass blog regarding this, and it was retweeted by Hridayam's official Twitter handle as well. But wait, we don't call it Twitter anymore, right? It's X. Yeah, it's X. Anyways, you can read the blog post, the link is in the description below. The return to Secret Alley will always have a place in my heart. The ending will make you recall the good old days of your college life. It has the ability to make you reminisce those beautiful nostalgic memories, and in the end, it will surely leave you with a smile on your face, or maybe tears of joy as well. The music of this film needs to be mentioned. I am not a fan of musicals and movies that have a bulk load of songs, but Hridayam is an exception. This movie never felt like a musical, even though it has 15 songs. In fact, it is one of those films which has 2 sets of soundtracks, Side A and Side B. A special shout out to Hisham Abdul Wahab. I have been following him since Darshana dropped, and his recent songs are really good. It's definitely fresh, but I can assure you even he cannot recreate what he did with Hridayam. It's surreal, magical, and enchanting in ways I cannot explain. I am eagerly waiting for Vinit Srinivasan's Varshangalaka Shesham to see if he can create the same magic that he did with Hridayam. Also, back in 2022, the news that Dharma had acquired the rights of Hridayam makes me angry till this day. Just one thing, guys. Please don't remake this. That's all. Here are some honorable mentions that didn't make the list but have had a profound place in my heart. Rockstar. Because of its storyline and music, it has been close to 13 years and the songs haven't left my mind or my heart. Also, Ranbir Kapoor as JJ is fire. Bhag Milka Bhag. The best biopic ever made, period. Tamasha. I have made a separate video about it. Click on the iCard above. Premam. I believe in the 3 stages of love and premam is a valid proof of that. Also, I am heading towards that 3rd stage now. If Hridayam never existed, then premam would have been on the number 1 spot. 3 Idiots. A strange bond with this film over the years, which is inexplicable. Watched it again recently and it still pretty much stays relevant. That's it for this video, guys. Comment down your 4 favorite films. And I will see you guys in the next one. और हाँ, अगर वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो सब्सक्राइब कर देना दोस्तों. मिलते हैं अगली बार. Till then, bye.